This is Meg, Amy, Beth, and Joe.
My girls have a way of getting into mischief.
Ow!
You guys, to be here in this house, this movie, what a dream come true. Does it bring back memories of filming last year and just being a part of this?
Absolutely. How do you feel about
It
it?
does.
Yes,
I was just
absolutely.
thinking
Yes.
about we spent Halloween in Sleepy Hollow Cemetery.
Yes. That's true.
Like-
Laura texted me and said you want to go visit on Halloween night.
Yeah, that was so wild, and just this town is incredible.
It's such a great story. What do you think it is about Little Women that has transcended time?
Maybe I think Greta could speak the best about that than all of us, and I'm sure Laura has something wiser than what I'm about to say. But with all the respect and admiration for the actual work, because none of us would be here without it, and with all the awareness of how important it is, this is Greta's movie, and I think the reason we're sitting here is in large part, in huge part, because of Louisa May Alcott, but really because Greta, and that's why I would hope and I implore people to see this thing, and not as a selling point or whatever, but as a fact that for those that have seen the other versions too, this is a new thing.
It was so interesting. We're just talking about this, how all the other movies that have been made, that movie came in the 30s. That movie came in the 90s. This is a 2019. It is so much. You're wearing the capes and but God, it's modern. It's so fabulous. It's like not a rom-com, but like it feels like that in a way. Like it's very poppy.
Well, it's also, I think, the first time, because of Greta's genius and how she navigated this adaptation, it is Louisa's story and the story of Little Women somehow woven together beautifully. But also, and I love listening to Timmy talk about it, even when we were on set too, it's a movie she's given all of us about what it is to find yourself. Your character's trying to figure out who he is and what love means to him, the same way we all are, and what it means to be an artist, the sacrifice of art. And also, I think it's the most modern experience of telling the story of ambition with comfort, with ease. That ambition is a gorgeous thing to have when you want to be an artist or a servant of the world,
Well, this is very interesting because...
I'm sorry, because I just want to jump on that, because that is like so important what Laura just said, and I want to be able to just say things that are soundbitey and can be fit in a sentence too, but that is like so huge, because the misinterpretation of this movie, or the flippant way to look at it, would be to think that the stakes aren't high or something. And my experience as a human through Laurie, but just being on set with someone like Laura Dern or Meryl Streep, or to see Greta work on a bigger thing, as opposed to Lady Bird, and then well, I wish. But it was like, when you're young, people are mirrors to you. Your identity's confirmed to you by other people, and even if you're in your 20s or whatever, or you're a young actor, it's still the case. And I felt the experience of growing within Greta's worldview, within her universe, and same goes for Laura. The Halloween story is apt, and I got so much out of this movie, which is not what the question was. I apologize for personalizing it, but and even just being in this house right now, this is, and that's the irony, that it is Sony distributing it, or that it has been, that it's a big thing. That's all I'm saying. It's a big company distributing it, because it felt like a nice little familial thing that was ours,
and it is so independently minded. She was so fiercely independent in her voice, so it felt like an indie movie in that way too.
And so I had read, Timothy, that you had watched Dark Knight, and that had inspired you to become an actor, and then the fact now this is 360, you're playing a role that Christian Bale has played before.
Oh yes.
Like this is a crazy,
I thought you were gonna,
inspirational 360 for you, no?
No, absolutely, yeah. I mean, it feels a little I can't put myself in the same thing, but it's a great role. I think Greta, I think he did it. His was already excellent. Jillian Armstrong's was already excellent, but what I think Greta did was, and I gotta be careful when I'm saying this is Little Women, whatever, but she gave him real agency, real groundedness, vulnerability. It's also an ideal. He's a bit of an ideal of a young man, but that's what I love about the proposal scene. It's what I love about the impetuousness of it sometimes, because that's what it is to be young, and with a privilege, in that. But a lot of the questions about Laurie and the relationship that he has with these sisters can be gendered, because it's obvious.
Sure.
And yet, it goes so, you know, it's not a tit for tat, you know, thing. Yeah.
And I was gonna say, when I watched the movie, I walked out of the theater and I always like take my notes right after so I can like really get my thoughts straight. And I said, you know, I know that much has been made about you being the internet's boyfriend, like everyone's in love with you. If you love Timothee Chalamet, you will love him so much more after you like
no.
you're
Oh
just.
my God!
I know
oh,
you're
it's
gonna
so true.
blush, but
It's
oh
so
my
true.
God, you're
Take
just
it
a
in.
dreamboat.
Take in the love. Take in the
Laura,
love.
help! No.
You're just a dreamboat in
But,
this movie.
and I will add to that, because this is also part of the genius of Greta Gerwig, is you will also love him, not only because he's a brilliant, incredible actor and human being, but as Chris Cooper just said, what a gorgeous movie about men. She's made a film about kind men, about generous men. And we need those movies desperately. This is a film
Yes.
for all of us as we're
100%.
discovering self. And the character you've played is, it's also, there's deep fluidity in these relationships as childhood allows.
Of course.
If given the proper, you know, womb to play and explore. But it's just so beautiful to find the generosity of spirit as these people are growing up together.
Hey, can I add on one more thing to that? I'm sorry,
Please,
but just
no,
that.
this is-
No, but it's so. I feel what Laura's just said is so. It's what I took away from the movie, seeing it that I didn't expect when I saw it alone, and you know, not to gender it again, but it was so fascinating. That Chris Cooper. That's maybe the most heartbreaking scene to me is Chris Cooper outside and Joe going up to him and saying, "Why aren't you going inside?" And he gives a reason. I won't spoil it. But the this is not what I'm gonna cut myself off. Go ahead. sorry.
No, I
No,
love
but that
what
the
you're
men, like, it's shot, you know, there's no, I don't know what the opposite of the lecherous male gaze
It's a
is. You know what I'm saying? But that's
vulnerability
not what this is.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
a vengeful thing.
Yeah.
But also it doesn't, like, Louis Garrel's a beautiful man and is shot to be that, you know? Like,
Yes.
but it doesn't feel, anyway, so I love that Laura made that point, because it's not what the movie's necessarily about. It's not what's at the forefront of the movie, and yet it's treated with like with truth, you know.
I love
And
that.
you bring such dedication to your love of Joe, and so you're kind of with us. We get to fall in love with her through you, and you love her for her complicated
Yes.
nature,
Yeah.
for her rage,
Yeah.
for her poetry,
Yeah.
as opposed to the guy in the movie goes, "Whoa, that's a lot."
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Well, and that brings
Yes,
up.
beautiful.
Right.
This is a great point. Saoirse was in here talking about it before. What is it that, like, in every movie she's gonna scream in your face?
What, that's her gonna scream in my face in that
Yeah,
movie?
it's like, is this a new thing? Like Lady Bird, there's like, you know, of course she's like, ah, in your face. In this movie, there's also like this meme going around the internet of like, Saoirse yelling at Timothy is like my mood forever.
Yes.
She does that on
And she
set,
said-
off camera all the time.
She
too.
said
It's
that
weird.
you made everyone fall in love with you so much she needed to slap you a bunch in this
No,
movie.
I don't. You know, is that what she said actually?
Yeah.
Well, you know,
She's
I'm
getting
so
you back
great-
for the way you treated her in Lady
in
Bird.
Lady Bird, yeah, exactly. That was a character. No, but no, but I didn't mean to get.
See, now it's catching. Look what she's done to you.
But the amazing thing with Saoirse, truly, and you know, our relationship in a vacuum, her as a human in a vacuum, nothing to do with me,
Yeah.
is that her, I don't want to say her heart because that sounds cheesy, like her essence, but is out of her control in some way too. Maybe thanks to her parents, I don't know, but it's so in the right place. And she's not lying. I do feel like she's, you know, yeah, she's making sure, yeah, that's all good.
The last thing I wanted to ask you is about these matching sweaters at the Gotham Awards. I mean,
What's that?
what an honor.
he's
So she got
fashion guru,
given this
so he'll like
award, and Greta and Noah
Oh, I saw
presented
Noah's
the
sweater. I
award
don't know
in,
why.
in
Yeah,
Laura
crazy thing.
Dern.
Oh, yeah.
In Laura Dern sweatshirts.
Oh,
I mean,
sick. That's you on them?
yes.
Oh, cool.
What did that mean
Because
to
Ralph
you?
Simmons did this amazing collection of an homage to David Lynch, and so they were both
my
wearing
gosh.
sweaters with. Actually, my
Did you know that was gonna happen or no?
No, they surprised me, and of course my son was freaking out because even better, Noah's like, Ellery, what do you think of my sweater? He's like, you're also wearing my Nana because my mother, who was in Wild at Heart, is on the
Oh my gosh.
other sleeve. So it was a family affair. And it was amazing.
And as you walked in, Timothy was congratulating you on this new honor. What do you guys make of this? I mean, it's just the start of awards season, and at every turn I'm hearing Little Women and these performances. I couldn't even pick a favorite performance from this ensemble. What do you make of all the buzz?
Can I say something about it?
Do it.
Man, I'm sitting next to such an incredible actress and an incredible human, and someone that I can say because I worked with her, so it's not, you know, this is an incredible person. So to have not one but two roles that are exemplifying that this year, or not even her personhood, her in touchness with the human condition, let's say, it's awesome, and has amazing kids, and you're a great person. So no, it's true.
It's
Well,
so
he's
funny.
an incredible person, and I'm so lucky to know him, and I'm determined to work with him forever.
I was gonna say, Laura, when I was doing my research for these interviews, and I promise I'll let them go, when I was doing my research for the interviews, what was so fabulous and made me so proud for you is that in many of the articles, they were like, oh, with, you know, legends like Meryl Streep and Laura Dern, in so many of the things, and then the rest of the cast, because it's a lot of, you know, up-and-comers, and so, like, how cool is that you're in the, like, what a career to be like, oh yeah, you know, those legends, the other one's Meryl Streep. You know, like,
It's so ridiculous, and I think we all were just standing around in awe every time. Actually, anything Meryl said.
That's true.
It was like, I remember with Saoirse, we were standing there and we're like, do you want something from the coffee place? She said, maybe they have a chai. I was like, oh my God, she drinks chai. You know, like anything was so special. So we all, you know, continue the joy. But
And now we're on a group chat, and Meryl's like, LOL. And
Yeah.
no,
no,
I'm
she's
kidding.
not. I'm like, I doubt that. You guys, thank you so much. Thanks for making this movie. It's so special.